Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. And 7 or 8 years ago, I posted this file on Epilogue's Facebook page. Matter of fact, I didn't even post the file. I just posted a picture because at the time, the Facebook page was pretty new, and I don't think I knew how to post the file. But I told people I would share the file. I had people coming out of the woodwork for this file. I remember distinctly a man from um, Italy. We talked back in Italian. I did Microsoft, change the text to Italian. He typed back, and I'd have to figure out what he said. But pretty funny. But I had people from all over the world wanting this file, and I gladly shared it. Well, today I can't find the file on Epilogue's Facebook page, and I can't even find the file on my hard drive or my thumb drives. So this clock has 6 parts. It's got these 4 gear-looking parts, and then 2 of this part. This piece in the middle is going to fall out. This would normally be waste, but I used it for the back of the clock to kind of give it some good look. And instead of wasting this piece of MDF, and these gears on the outside don't do anything, but they were just what's left over. So if you look pretty close here, this gear right here does nothing. It's going to be this gear right here. This is just basically a washer or a spacer to keep the ring gear from falling off the back. So when you make yours, you're going to have to probably change 2 dimensions or 2 holes. This one right here is what your clock movement is going to go through. It needs to be, it doesn't even need to be snug, but it doesn't need to be too loose, because you're going to have a nut and a washer to hold it down. The other thing you're going to have to change is this hole right here. This is the most important thing of the whole clock. This is going to be a friction fit. This hole, let me just take this apart so if I make sure I'm right, is 0.19. This measured out this morning 0.20. But with the curve for the laser, I did some tests. I did 0.195, 185, and 0.19 fit really snugly. So it needs to fit. This is your hour movement of this piece of plastic spins on the hour. This is your minute hand. We're not going to use it. But this piece right here is going to be pressed. So when you first cut it out, you want to sand all your parts. And with that said, I have the luxury of having a drum sander. I was able to sand this piece thinner. Because when you sandwich this piece of MDF between 2 pieces of MDF, it's going to stick a little bit. You don't want it to stick. So you've got 2 options. Either use a thinner piece of MDF. I wouldn't use plywood because it's going to warp. I'd use MDF. And if you have some 1/16 inch MDF, I would use it. If you don't, and you don't have a drum sander to sand it down, all you have to do is, take a little washer. Well, I wouldn't even do that because it might no, it's not going to interfere with the gear. Just take a little washer and put it between there, or cut a piece of 1/8 inch plywood out, the size of this gear, and make it a little bit bigger. And if you're going to do that, I would use some indexing dowels, and I have some videos on that of how to put a couple indexing dowels so when you press it together to glue it, it doesn't move and they'd be dead on. Now, the clock movement at the back looks like this. If your rod is too thick, you're going to need to add another layer of MDF on the back. Now, to keep the clock level off the wall, I would just you're going to have plenty of scrap MDF on these corners. Just take some and cut some circles and stack them up. And you can tell 8 years ago I didn't really care what it looked like in the back. I didn't even cut out the cork. I just cut it with a scissor and sticky taped it to the back. So this way it's leveled against the wall. But I am going to post this file, or already have posted this file, in Epilogue's Facebook page under X13 for Corel, or X3 for Corel 13 for more people to use it. And if you need any help, just please email me or ask me a question on Facebook. Thank you for watching and hope that helped.